You can also create a 2-input data table, and it's very similar to the 1-input data table. Like the 1-input data table, you'll begin by first creating the table that contains the values that you want to analyze. This time, however, you'll need to make sure to put one variable in column and the other one in rows. You will also need to make a second input cell so that there's one for each variable, and make sure that your formula references both. Your formula has to contain options for 2 variables, and you have to have 2 different cells to represent those variables, one in a row and one in the column. Okay, so knowing that, we're going to return to our Excel spreadsheet and practice creating a 2-input data table. Again, from your spreadsheet, you're going to make sure you're on the 2-input table tab. You should see another car loan analysis chart, and this is very similar to the one that we used in the previous example. Again, we're going to be on the data ribbon and look for the what if analysis command. So this car loan analysis chart does look very similar to our last chart. There are some minor changes, however. So cell 3 now contains references in the formula to both input cells. You can see it right here. Our first input cell is B4, which is the interest rate, such as the previous example. And our second reference cell is B5, which is the term, the loan amount in months, which is right here, B5, and it happens to be 60 in this case. So that's the first difference. We are now referencing both B4 and B5, and here again is the formula that does that, B4 and B5. All right. Notice that we have also added the different loan term amounts in row 3. So we have 36 months, 48, and 60 months. And we have also added in column C the different interest rates. 15, 6.5, 9.25. So these are the data variables that we're going to be working with. And the first thing you need to do is select the cell range C3 all the way down to F6. Once you have your table area selected, you're going to go to the what if command, choose data table. You get the data table input box, and in the row input cell, this is going to be our B4, the interest rate, and in our column it's going to be the B5, the term amount. B4, B5, click OK, and it will calculate the results. Now in my case, I have to make my columns a little bit wider to show it. Just a reminder, if you ever get these sharp symbols in Excel, that's not an error message. That just means that there is more data in the cell than what the cell can actually show at the time because it's too small. So if you make the row or column larger, you should be able to see the data. Alright, so as with the one input table, you can modify your values without having to go back and redo the whole thing. So if I change this to 10%, it quickly changes all of my data without me having to go back and redo the data tool. Finally, just a reminder that the Twinsburg Public Library does offer one-on-one computer coaching. Computer coaching is a one-on-one tutorial service. We will sit down with you and teach you how to use different computer programs, including Excel. If you have any additional questions about Excel or other programs offered here at the library, please feel free to give us a call. Our phone number is 330-425-4268, extension 4. And thank you very much for watching Advanced Excel.